දසනකාන්තී චූර්ණය සහිත ලීවර් ආයිෂ් දන්තාලේපය දත්වල ඇති ප්‍රශ්න 10ක් වලකයි.
In the latest report of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights on Sri Lanka's human rights situation, it said the serious economic crisis which has severely impacted the human rights of all communities and people of all walks of life has spurred broad-based demands by Sri Lankans for all communities for deeper reforms and accountability, and gives the government a fresh opportunity to steer the country on a new path. For sustainable improvements to take place, however, it is vital to recognise and address the underlying factors which have contributed to the economic crisis, including embedded impunity for past and present human rights violations, economic crimes and endemic corruption. According to the report, fundamental changes will be required to address the current challenges and to avoid repetition of the human rights violations of the past. The report calls on the government to immediately end the reliance on draconian security laws and crackdowns on peaceful protests, reverse the drifts towards militarization and show renewed commitment to and deliver on security sector reforms ending impunity. The report further said, while the security forces recently showed considerable restraint in response to mass protests, the government has since taken a harder line approach, arresting some student leaders under the Prevention of Terrorism Act and violently suppressing peaceful protests. The report of the High Commissioner for Human Rights urges the new government to relaunch a comprehensive and victim-centered strategy on transitional justice and accountability with a time-bound plan to implement outstanding commitments, including taking steps in relation to the establishment of a credible truth-seeking mechanism and an ad hoc special court. It also went on to say the victims must be given a central role in the design and implementation of all accountability and transitional justice mechanisms. Expressing concern about the lack of progress to establish the truth about the Easter Sunday bombings in 2019, the report also calls for a follow-up independent and transparent investigation with international assistance to the full participation of victims and their representatives to pursue further lines of inquiry. The report said the Sri Lankan state, including through successive governments, has consistently failed to pursue an effective transitional justice process to hold perpetrators of gross human rights violations and abuses accountable and uphold victims' rights to true justice and reparations. Citing an absence of progress towards accountability at the national level, the report urges other states to cooperate in accountability efforts, including by using available avenues of extraterritorial and universal jurisdiction to investigate and prosecute crimes under international law committed in Sri Lanka.